Now we'd like to go to our next keynote speaker. This is none other than the country director, East Africa at Google. One thing that we need to let you know is that Agnes Gathaya, she is a business transformational leader with over 24 years of experience in commercial leadership. She currently serves as the country director for East Africa at Google. She's responsible for managing regional Google operations, developing and executing growth and innovation, building and managing strategic partnership. That is extremely key. She thrives at organizational transformation, predominantly focused on developing strategy and providing commercial leadership in sales and business development. Isn't it amazing how we see ladies, women taking over, coming in the place of tech and just doing fantastic things out there? Thank you so much, Agnes, and over to you as you take over this session. Thank you and welcome. All right, sincere apologies, our viewers. We just had a small technical hitch on our audio, but we've been able just to bounce back and sort that issue. So I just want to also go again that our next speaker, she is the country director, East Africa at Google. This is none other than Agnes Gathaya. So one thing that I just wanted to mention about Agnes is that she is a business transformational leader with over 24 years of experience in commercial leadership. How fantastic is that? And also she is also responsible for managing regional Google operations, developing and executing growth and innovation. That goes hand in hand, and also building and managing strategic partnerships. She thrives at organizational transformation, predominantly focused on developing strategy, providing commercial leadership in sales and business development. We are glad to have a seasoned speaker, and we are also honored and we appreciate how the ladies have come into the tech space and they've been able to do fantastic and amazing things. Over to you, Agnes, as you take us through this session. Welcome once again, and we are glad to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the warm introduction. Today, I am going to speak about how we can win in a micro-moments environment. So most of the people here who are responsible for brands, for products, and work in organizations that sell, understand their customers. They understand what their customers want, they understand what their customers need, and spend a lot of time and energy in terms of gaining insights to understand how they can connect with these customers. They also are able to develop amazing stories, great stories that connect with their customers, and they know what works. What works because at the end of the day, they see sales numbers moving. Some may not quite understand what the return on investment on spend is, but they know and understand what works and what has worked over the years. Byron Sharp is our marketing scientist, our go-to guru on all things marketing. And what he said when he first wrote this book remains true. Everybody is trying to figure out, how do we find customers of the category light users of our brands? What this means is, how do we find people who are not necessarily using our products or who are light users, not those who are advocates. Those who are advocates, we will spend time remarketing to them later. But how do we find, acquire, and increase the number of customers we have? How do we speak to all of them often, especially prior to purchase or when they're about to make a purchasing decision? The third thing he says that's most important is, how do we make it easy for them to remember, find, and buy our products? And that takes us to, the question that we ask ourselves every day. How do I find more customers? Acquisition is at the back of our minds every single day. How do I stand out in an extremely cluttered marketplace? And how can I measure the results and drive return on investment? Now, our customers are changing. Some of our brands have been in the market for years, some for 50 years. But how our customers are finding us and how our customers are buying is changing every single day. Our customers no longer go online. They live online. If we look at examples of some numbers we have here, a lot of this is third-party data from analyst companies who have done their research. This is growth over 3 months, from February to October 2020. YouTube numbers in Ghana moved from 3.8 million to 5 million. That's exponential growth. In Kenya, from 5.9 million to 7.78 million. In Nigeria, look at that growth. It has almost doubled. What is this telling us? That more and more people are spending more and more time on their mobile phones. When we look at Kenya, for example, and we drill down, YouTube is today the second largest video channel in Kenya, based on research that was done by RealForge Analytics, with 7.7 million monthly active users, compared with our traditional television stations. What is this telling us? This is telling us that people are spending more and more time consuming data, consuming content on their mobile phones. And that's where the growth is. I'd like us to watch this video that actually really explains very well how our consumers' behaviors are shifting on a daily basis. I love this video because this video speaks about you and me. Today, if I want to find something, I probably don't wait until the end of the day. I might be walking through somewhere and I realize, oh my goodness, I need this. I immediately pull out my phone, I search for it, I find it, I buy it. And that is what we call micro moments. Today, our customers, they want to watch a video now on how to fix something that's ailing them. They want to know now information that they're looking for to solve a specific problem. They want to find it now. For example, in the video, somebody's hairdryer breaks down, they need to buy one now. And once they found it, they make a purchasing decision immediately. Our customers and our consumers are moving and relying more on mobile to make purchasing and buying decisions. The question is, are you there? I'll have a couple of slides with a few graphs. So for example, when we look at generically between October and December 2020, search information, I want to know about banking. Generic term, not about a specific bank, but just about banking. If you look at the number of people who searched for that query over that 3 months, in Nigeria, there were about 28 million searches looking for a bank. In Kenya, we were about just over 8 million searches, and the numbers go through. We did the same exercise for a large bank, a very large bank across Africa, one of the largest banks. And this is what we saw. The number of people who were specifically looking for their brand in comparison. So if we look at Nigeria, for example, previously we had said there were 27 million people looking for the word bank. Those who were specifically looking for this brand were just over 60,000 searches. The headroom is amazing. The question is, those people who searched, who did they find? So more than 1.5 million queries on XYZ Bank across these 4 countries in Q4 2020. The query volume is an extremely good indicator of top-of-mind awareness. So when a lot of people go in to do a search, they actually are not brand conscious. They're looking for information to inform their buy decision. The question is your information being found? Another example here, and this is a big one for Kenya, loan apps. Yeah? In Q4 2020, there were 1 million searches for mobile loans in Kenya. 60% of these queries were not branded, they were generic. And it's a great opportunity for people, for example, who own a loan app to be able to build market share. These are people, our customers, who are floating around the internet looking for information and content. So how do we make information and content that meets them at exactly their point of need when they need it? And that is the shift in consumer behavior that we're talking about. I want to buy a phone. Yeah? A lot of the queries, again, over 40%, were unbranded. The rest of them were branded around the operating system, so Android or iPhone or others. But those who were asking for a specific phone were very few. So these people are coming into the internet, and what they want is information for them to make a buy decision in terms of what is the best phone for me. Let's meet Erica. So Erica and her husband want to move to a bigger house. The long process that for them to make a buy decision is many, many, many single micro moments. For this particular micro moment, Erica was looking for a mortgage calculator. It was 4:21 p.m. and she was at the airport. Now, should she find that calculator, it does not mean that she's going to necessarily buy from wherever it is or take a loan or a mortgage from whichever bank she found the calculator, especially if the bank only has the calculator and a nice list of properties that they're selling. So the consideration and the experience and the journey that she and her husband are going to take before they make a final decision is going to be long. But every time she's looking for specific information about it, the question is she being fed with that information consistently from 1 or 2 sources for her to say, you know what, these guys actually know what they're doing in the mortgage market? Or is she getting this from 30 different sites all over and aggregating this information to then make a buy decision herself? Succeeding in a micro moment world, the 4 key things is the first, you have to be there. Being there means connecting with a customer at their specific time of need. So for example, it's now very cold in Nairobi. One of the things I thought about on Friday is I need to buy a heater. Now, if I go online and I look for or I search for a space heater, what and who will I find? And what sort of information to make a very quick buy decision will be there? Or will I need to search 6, 7 different sites for me to get adequate information and make a buy decision? That is the quality of how we need to be there. That's how we need to show up. We have to be useful. Being useful goes beyond just putting out your product. It's about moving the marketing story to micro videos, micro how-to. So for example, if you're selling DIY equipment, rather than show me a saw, show me how to effectively use a SOAR to be able to address what it is I'm doing. You have to be quick, and this one is very important. Our statistics show us that 80% of people who click on your website move on if the website does not load within 3 seconds. They want information quickly now. And therefore, how you are showing up in the market, whether it's through an app, whether it's a website, whether it's whatever, it needs to be quick, fast, and effective. Then connect the dots. How do we take all this information back and measure the return on investment? And I'm really happy that later on in Martech, we're actually going to have a panel dedicated to performance measurement. So I'll give you a couple of other examples that really excite me. Red Roof Inn is a hotel chain in the US. And what they did is, from insights, they realized that every single day, 90,000 Americans miss their flight because of cancellations. They therefore need a place to stay. So when they looked at the Be There information and the insights building, they realized they can actually connect their data or collect data of canceled flights and immediately serve up the people who are on that flight an advertisement. So you open your phone, you've just missed your flight. The first ad that comes up looks like I'm staying the night moments. And Red Roof are fantastic because a lot of their properties are actually at the airports. So meeting the customer, anticipating the customer need, and showing up just when they need to. This was a fantastic campaign for them. In 3 months, they were able to actually increase by 60% their sales based on non-branded searches that were being done, which is quite amazing. The second one that I love, and I kind of alluded to it earlier, was Realtor.com. Realtor.com is a real estate company, and they understand that the customer journey and the purchase journey is treacherous by the time, because of the large investment you're about to make. And most people are scared during this time. So rather than put up their listing of properties, what they did is they created micro videos. Each micro video about 45 seconds. And they put them on YouTube on how to go through the process, what is important, the legal process, the questions you need to ask. They decided to educate the customer. And by doing so, and by the customer, every time they're looking for good quality information, finding them, increased the trust that the customer had with the real estate company. They were able, within 3 months of launching this campaign, to increase their YouTube viewers by 400,000 views. And over and above that, increase their book of business. So another very quick one that I like, you go on airline apps and you literally have to look for what it is you're doing. Virgin America asked themselves, what percent of people coming into our app, what are they looking for? And they found 90% of them just want to book a flight. So they decluttered it. They removed all the offers. They removed all the noise on their app. And if you go in there now, it's a very simple thing. Want to book a flight? Now, after you've booked, they then provide you other things and other offers on hotels and other things. But what happened is they had faster bookings. Customers were coming in and spending less time on their app, but more sales and more completed bookings. So I'm going to end here in terms of micro moments checklist. This is the checklist. If you want to win in mobile, this is what we all have to do. Mobile is the new North Star for marketers. If you're not winning on mobile, then you are not, then you're leaving a market share on the table. So be there Identify the moments, understand your share of intent. Use data, the data you have, the data that is available out there to coin out insights on who your customers are and where you can meet them. Be useful. We talked about what sort of content are you providing them? Are you just advertising, or are you helping your customers make buy decisions? Be quick. Load like lightning. If you have an extremely great product and people cannot get or access your site because it's slow, or it has spam in it, or it has all sorts of things happening, you will lose your customers or your potential customers. Then connect the dots. Measure across the screens. Measure across channels. Ensure that all your different channels are speaking to each other. Remove the silos and make sure that you're winning on mobile. Thank you.